DC charging stations are essential for the transition to electric vehicles. However, these are predominantly used on the days where you're doing more distance than the range of your EV. A DC charger will give you enough energy to get you to your next overnight AC charge. Using a DC charging station, expect to pay between $15 and $20 per 100 kilometers of driving. Often referred to as destination charging, AC charging at accommodation locations, and many other situations where a car is parked for extended periods will play a critical role in the widespread adoption of EV. AC destination charging is more cost-effective for the owner-operator, which results in reduced cost for the user. Expect to pay between $8 and $12 per 100 kilometers of driving when using these AC destination charging stations, and have the convenience of charging while you're doing other things. For reference, expect to pay between $3 and $5 per 100 kilometers when charging at home. As a comparison for the owner of the infrastructure, in general you can install 14 of AC destination charging stations for the cost of installing a medium-sized DC charger, and the AC charging infrastructure will easily work with whatever spare power is available. AC charging is about having more outlets so many cars are plugged in. This saves the time and hassle of moving cars around. Transnet has EV charging infrastructure along with EV-ready kit sets to suit both outdoor car parks and covered car parks, useful for both AC destination charging and for an apartment complex situation. EV-ready enables you to install what is needed now and easily expand for what is needed tomorrow. In time, booking an overnight charging session at a motel will become as common as booking a room when planning a trip away. Equally, when an apartment complex is home, this is where the majority of charging needs to happen, and a payment system is needed in most situations. There are a few different ways to use the charging stations. Open access. This is where anyone can use the charging station, and you won't know who, for how long, or for how much. Restricted access. This requires a user to authenticate a charge session. With restricted access, the cost and amount of energy is all logged against the user. You can then decide if and how you want to use this logged data. It's easy to generate an Excel spreadsheet from the logged data in myWallbox. Alternatively, enable Pay Monthly. With Pay Monthly, the user experience is virtually the same as it is with restricted access. However, the user will either have a credit card loaded in the myWallbox app or use Apple Google Pay, and once a month, the total charge costs are automatically deducted. For both restricted access and Pay Monthly, a user has to be invited to use the charging stations, so it is still controlled access. In the case of an apartment complex, for example, there would normally be just the one user invited to use the charging station in their car park, or multiple users invited to use the same charging station in a shared space. Pay per charge is another useful feature. When pay per charge is enabled, anyone can use the charger, and the charge costs will be deducted as and when they use it. Plugging in to charge goes through a process of scanning a QR code, then checking that the user has sufficient funds available to pay for the charge session. A typical use case would be a hotel or any location where someone would like to install a standalone or a group of wall boxes and have a simple way for people to use them and pay as they go. To enable Pay Monthly and or Pay Per Use, the owner of the charging stations needs to create a Stripe payment account, which is easily done by following the steps from their myWallbox account. Alternatively, if they already have a Stripe account, they can simply link the same account to their myWallbox account. The myWallbox portal provides an easy-to-use way to set up and monitor your charging stations. The dashboard page puts useful information in an easy-to-follow graph format and gives you the option to go into more detail with date ranges and reporting, etc. The charger page is where you can add and set up individual charging stations. The user page is where you add users and set them up as either controlled access with no charge or set as a pay monthly. Remember, pay per charge is when you're allowing anyone to charge, so they won't show up here as a user. It's the general public. The payments tracks both pay monthly and pay per charge payments, and the sessions page has all the charge session information, be it restricted access with no payment, pay per month use, or pay as you go, with all the energy used, cost of energy, and payment shown. You can easily run an Excel spreadsheet to go through all the data in more detail. Now let's see how it looks like from the user's perspective using the app. Note that the process is virtually identical for either standard restricted access or when using pay monthly. In both cases, the charger will show up on the app and the user will select the charger and then unlock the charger. In this case, power sharing is utilized. So firstly, the charger is waiting for confirmation there is enough power, then it waits for the car to request power and turns on. For pay monthly and pay per charge sessions that you do, it is easy to keep track of what is going on. Invoices show all transactions that have been processed. Note around $43 for which is the pay monthly. The Payments tab is a closer look at what has been happening this month and shows the pay per charge transactions as paid, but also adds a running total of what is adding up for the next pay monthly deduction from your chosen payment method. This shows the process when using a wallbox with pay per charge. Enable public charge, scan the code, it then searches for the charger, gives you all the information for the charger like charge costs, where it is. You select the payment method. Then the system will go through that process of checking there's enough available funds and then plug your car in. The process can take up to 90 seconds. However, once it starts charging, you'll see the indication that it is, and you can then come back into that wherever you are. You don't actually have to be within Bluetooth range of the charger to be able to keep tabs on what's happening with your charge session, and you can see if your car's finished. If you intend to enable pay per charge, you can download the QR code and the instructions for the charger serial number. This is a really user-friendly guide which gives the charging instructions and the QR code for this exact charging station. Then you can email them to wallbox@transnet.co.nz, and we will send you a sticker pack for the pedestal. Alternatively, you can use these downloads, add your own logos and information, and then get these made into wall-mounted signs. For more information on all EV charging related topics, get in touch with the team here at Transnet eMobility.